welcome to this absolutely stunning venue, and welcome to the wedding we've all been waiting for. I'm glad to see so many familiar faces finally back together to celebrate this wonderful day. I think we can start off by raising our glasses and making as much noise as possible for John Scott and Stephanie, the new Mr. and Mrs. Hamilton. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Sean, aka Shape. If you're wondering why they call me Shape, just buy me a few drinks at the bar and I'll tell you a good story about it later. I've been asked by Stephanie and John Scott to be their master of ceremonies. Well, I am by far the funniest friend they have, and I'm also the free entertainment. And although I might come for free, I also come with a warning label. A lot like a gremlin. And the most important rule is, no matter how much I beg and how much I cry, you never give me alcohol after midnight. Some would even say, you don't give me any alcohol at all. And let's be honest, giving me a microphone on the biggest day of your life, well, it's a risk way too much for many. So I feel privileged that John Scott and Stephanie have taken the chance, knowing my favourite pastime is throwing the cat amongst the pigeons. The real reason I'm MC today is John Scott refused to pay for professionals, so he roped in his friends and his family for all the important roles. So if you see his mum disappearing soon, she's off to the kitchen to help out with the dinner, and his dad, he will be your butler for the rest of the evening. I don't know why you're laughing, because when the wedding band doesn't show up, one of yous is going to be singing Ed Sheeran songs for the rest of the night. Anyway, we're in for an absolute treat as a very special guest who's flying in later today, who many thought wouldn't be here. And that's not even the greatest part. We've decided that no one should have to listen to John Scott or Kev while waiting to be fed. So we've decided to get them out of the way here at the drinks reception so you can all enjoy your dinner. Okay, time to get on to the bit that most of us have been waiting for, the groom and the best man speeches. Would you please put your hands together for the groom, John Scott Hamilton.
So finally, I get the chance to say these words on behalf of my beautiful wife and I. I would like to thank you all for coming. It's been a difficult 12 to 18 months for obvious reasons, and we're very thankful you are all here to help share and celebrate this day with us. I thought the ceremony was perfect, and we would like to extend our thanks to our humanist Karen for the lovely service, and our beautiful flower girl and niece Sadie. Now, before I get on to the most important person of the day, there are a few we need to say thanks to, and where better to start with our lovely family and primarily our parents. I think if you were to look back to when me and Steph were courting, however many years ago, I don't think our first impressions were exceptionally great with each other's parents. And in the case of Steph and Linda, it's probably still the same to this day. Anyway, I remember when me and Steph had one of our many busy nights out at the West Hotel, and Steph was a little worse for wear on this particular night. But to cut a long story short, in the process of trying to sneak her up to my room, keeping in mind I'm from a practicing Catholic family, she ended up wiping out my mum's collection of crystal at the top of the landing, which had a waterfall effect as each piece tumbled down the stairs and smashed on the wooden floor below. This obviously resulted in waking up my mum at 1 in the morning, who obviously was not impressed. To this day, I have never seen Steph move so quickly, and she ran into the bedroom and hid under the covers, leaving me standing there as number one culprit. Of course, in wanting to keep my favourite son status, I blamed it on her. So not a great start on her behalf in getting to know the future in-laws. On the plus side, she was in my bed with minimal effort from me. And then I also remember one of the first times Spence laid eyes on me. I believe it was the morning of a family funeral, and the night before I stayed at Steph's flat in town. So in the morning, I believe he phoned ahead to make sure Steph was ready, and not to be late, as he will be picking her up. So as the time comes, he's parked outside, and I'm lazing around Steph's flat as she's getting ready. At this point, Steph is now running late, so Spence comes up and knocks on the door, and as I open the door, I can see he was pissed off, and rightly so, considering the situation. As he looks straight through me and shouts, "Steph, move your arse and get in the car," he turns away. He pauses. He then looks back at me as if to say, "What is my daughter doing with you?" And normally I would take that to heart, but to be fair, here I was, a 22-year-old skinhead with the body shape of a twiglet, and standing at the front door with no top on and wearing my Mr. Happy Mr. Men boxer shorts. All of this on the day he's attending a funeral. What was going through his head, I'll never know. Anyway, I'm sure we are far more respectful now, and I hope your opinions of us from back then have now changed. And if not, well, it's too late. I was always a little intimidated at the start, as Spence used to drive a Maserati, and they lived in a nice house in Cults. Where I'm from, a wealthy man delivering packages and driving a fancy car is not called a postie. I think it's special packages Spence delivers on his road. But in all seriousness, thank you all for helping us out with the boys over the years and all the support in free holidays. It's been very much appreciated by us and the boys and makes life that little bit easier. Now on to young Spence. You now have that brother you never wanted. Spence is a topper of a guy and someone I easily get along with. However, as the day goes on, you'll all notice that Spence starts to develop Tourette's. So just to be warned and remind him of his social responsibility, especially with kids around. Spence, it is what it is. So, staying on the theme of family, I would like to make a special mention to Aileen, Steph's grand. And as the humorist referred to, we have 3 generations here, obviously including Steph, and I'm sure you'll all agree they look fantastic. I think Aileen was getting a little worried at how long it was taking for us to get married, and was never too scared and giving me a little encouragement now and again on the slide. For me, unfortunately, my 2 brothers could not make it here to the wedding. So with all that being said, my first toast is going to be to family and friends. But before we toast, on behalf of me and Steph, I'd like to thank you all here today, and to those who could not make it, as you've all had some sort of positive impact in shaping us into the people we are today. You're all wonderful people, and we're privileged that you're in our lives. So let's toast to family. Fuck me already. In my family, it's tradition to get married and then have kids. And in true John Scott fashion, I did not mind breaking the rules now and then. And I'm happy we did, as it's great that we have the boys here at this age to share this day with us. Aidan, our firstborn, what a guy. I've never known anyone to be so chilled, kind, and someone who loves being around family as much as you do. Keep being the happy, respectful, and hard-working kid you are. OC, the wee football star that thinks he knows it all. You are so determined and passionate in everything you do, and you do it with a smile. It's still a bit too cheeky for your own good at times, but I have a good idea where you get that from. You are both very special, and we are very proud of you both for everything that you have achieved, and look forward to seeing you grow up into becoming young men. But don't be achieved. Moving on to the 3 supporting ladies who I'd like to thank. Laura, Stacey, Kat. You look great today, and thanks for all the help and moral support you've given Steph through this hell of an 18 months. I'm sure there were times where she said, you know what, he's not really worth it. And she's probably right. Although, after being in lockdown, I think she was very conscious that everyone needed a party and a chance to wear a nice dress. So thank you very much for everything that you've done, with the henny in the back garden, which was spectacular, and in helping this to be one of the most special days in our lives. So I hope you can all join me in the second toast to the bridesmaids. Now for the lady of the moment, Steph. Wow, you looked fantastic all the time, but exceptionally good today. You've done a fantastic job organising 3 weddings in very difficult circumstances, and never once looked flustered doing it. I wrote this about 3 weeks ago, which just shows the character you are. For those who don't know the full story with me and Steph, I will elaborate, and this is contrary to what humorists might have said. When Steph moved to West Hill and started drinking in our local establishments, I noticed her noticing me. As time went on, I could see her checking me out when in the pubs. And on New Year's night at the West Hill Hotel, me in my double denim, beanie hat and Timberland boots.
Honking.
She finally plucked up the courage to come over, and her first words were, "You are definitely the best looking guy I've ever seen." Okay, that might not exactly how it went, but the description of what I was wearing is certainly true, and that's how we started our journey. The follow-on to that was all about enjoying getting to know each other and slowly meeting the two families. At the time, Linda and Spence must have thought, who is this guy that managed to win the heart of our daughter and make her change her life so dramatically? He must be fantastically good-looking, charismatic, intelligent, and an all-round top lad, and they were not wrong. I had my concerns about seeing an older woman. Especially being very immature myself at the time. But everything worked out fine, and although she is older, she still looks pretty good for her age. Being a mom is something she's exceptionally good at, and I love the way she has that mother bear attitude towards our boys. She's a superhero mom, and not only looks after the boys, but me included. Steph is the voice of reason and is the heart of our family home, and we could not function in the manner we do without her. You always put us first and have done for the last 15 years, and this is probably the only day when it's been all about you, and I hope this day is what you envisaged. Since meeting you, we've had our ups and downs, like all couples, but I would not change anything as it's made us who we are today, and I could not be happier. I love and appreciate everything you are. Suitably, being from the Caribbean, I found some lyrics from the legend that is Bob Marley that may be true to us. The two of you may never be perfect, but if she can make you laugh, or cause you to think twice and admit to being human and making mistakes, hold on to her and give her the most you can. Don't hurt her, don't change her, don't analyse, and don't expect more than she can give. Smile when she makes you happy, let her know when she makes you mad, and miss her when she's not there. Love with your whole being when you receive love, because there are no perfect girls, but there will always be a perfect girl for you. You're definitely the perfect girl for me, as I don't think anyone else would put up with me. I wouldn't even put up with me. So thanks for being you, and I look forward to many more great times, making memories and living the best life we can together. So my last toast is to my beautiful bride, Stephanie Hamilton. Before we move on and I finish up, the last thank you of the day goes to M&S over here. The best man, super sub. I chose Kev and my brother Matthew to be the best men today. Now obviously Matthew can't be here, so we have Sean the Ship, who will step in later and read Matthew's speech. And I'm sure add his own twist along the way. Kev, aka Miggs, doesn't like public speaking, and is easily confused, which makes the credibility of his speech very questionable. Miggs said in his first wedding speech that he would try and be faithful. And we all know how that ended. They both also have tendencies to exaggerate the truth, so we'll see what lies they come up with this evening. To be honest, I feel quite confident that they have nothing on me, as I'd probably describe myself as genuinely a nice guy, don't do many stupid things, pretty responsible, and never been in trouble in the law. So this next speech could be short and sweet. But thank you both for the virtual stag do that ended in the worst drunken hammy ever. And thank you for the barbecue earlier this year in some difficult circumstances. Although we could not get away, I banked the permission slip for a lad's trip next year. So, just to end, I just want to say on behalf of Steph and I, we thank you all again for being here to share this special day with us, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of the evening, and we love and appreciate you all. So drink up and be merry.
Right, I think that was an absolute wonderful speech. Me and John Scott, we actually had a safe word in case the speeches went wrong, which was safe word. So I asked him when he would like me to, when he would like me to come in with and help him out, and he said just after good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. However, it was just taken aback, absolute wonderful speech. Anyway, we're on to one of the best man, Kevin. One of the best men, Kevin. So anyway, Kevin is not only John Scott's best man, but he's also best friend to many people in this room. And for those of you that don't know Kevin well, he's the most cultured individual you've ever met in your life. He was born in Scotland, he was raised in Ireland, and he spent most of his life in Italy as an adult. He's either eating the Parma or watching Sopranos, or he's singing to the Irish music. And when he's not singing to the Irish music, or eating the Parma or watching Sopranos, he's got a bottle of Buckfast in his hand. John Scott's other best man and brother Matthew, he can't make it today as he's recently moved to Australia, but he had some words of support for Kev. He says, "Good luck today, I hope everything goes well with your speech, and try your best not to whistle through that gap in your teeth." Put your hands together for Kevin Francisco McGeary.
Well, afternoon everyone. No point for that introduction now. I'm going to start off just with another toast to the bride and groom, Stephanie and John Scott. It's been a long time coming. You would think the duration that these two have been engaged for, been together for, I would have a speech arranged, but unfortunately, last night, this is where it started. Whilst today might not be the original date of the wedding, I'm so proud and happy for you both to be part of your special day. Now, John Scott, a little bit of advice. Marriage is all about compromise. Take it from a man in the know. I'm on the second. Simple little things like I might instead of I am. Gauge the room. See what a reaction's going to be. Also, a surprise is a bouquet of flowers, not I've booked up to go to the Champions League next week. Having grown up with John Scott, you would think I've got lots of stories, which I do, but weirdly, the one that always sticks in my mind is why he was never allowed out, because he was bathing. Now, in Scotland, that is called grounded. No allowed out, staying in. So for me and John Scott, it all began in Westwood Place. Two-touch football in the street, the two of us together. Sunday afternoons at the Pages, number 7. I'm sure his mum and dad remember them fondly. My dad, the bold John McGeary, used to make his way across to number 7 to line with the Trinities, a few rum and cokes. Unfortunately, my dad's 5'5" for Glasgow and was drinking rum and cokes with 6'6" Pete for Port of Spain. So you can imagine, queue 3 hours later, Hammy turns in and says, "Migs, is that your dad in the bush over there?" The adults weren't the only ones that were having fun that day. Complimentary bar was at the back door. Me and John Scott used to look over, see a little blue cool box. Now, blue's obviously not my favourite colour, but anyway, here we go. So, across we went, fully stocked with bottles of Carib. In we go, couple of Caribs. Now, that's not really the best half-time refreshment for two 12-year-olds playing football in the street, is it? But away we went. And then 20 years later, here we are, still friends. There's two handsome young men here today that are so proud of John Scott and Steph the same way that I am. And no, it's not Hazer and Shay. It's Aidan and OC. Two beautiful little boys who make their mum and dad so proud every single day. And I know that they're so proud of both their parents. And they're an absolute credit to them today. It just shows the parents that they are. So I'd like just a little round of applause for Aidan and OC. Back to the bride and groom. I wish you both all the happiness and love in the world, which is going to be a lot easier now seeing how Key West shut. So, ladies and gentlemen, short and sweet, I'm so proud of those two today. I've known them for over 20 years. They've been there for me, and I absolutely love that they've asked me for the privilege of being John Scott's best man and stand here in front of you all today. So, one final time, I'd like to raise a toast to you, Mr. and Mrs. Hamlin.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the speeches over for now. Can we give the boys another round of applause for their wonderful effort? Before you go, I ask of you this. Make sure your glass is never empty. And let's give this absolute fantastic pair a day and night to remember. Time's the dinner? I think the dinner's going to be in about an hour, so mingle with the guests, go and get yourselves filled up again, and let's get after it.